Okay, so it's been a week since you've seen my other Terraria video, and I've just been lately building. Now this local thing is my other house on the world. It's more of just a for me type of thing. It's underwater, and some of you guys said it doesn't seem protected like waves. My other house wasn't protected from the things that go through walls. So I tried this little example of a lava field around it. Now the thing is, it doesn't really work. They don't get burned. So some newer things I added with switches. See, you can close this, make that so you can get in, and then you just drain the water, shut it, shut this. Now one problem with this design though, now this switch right here that controls those three with that wire. Now some of you might be forgetful and leave these both open at the same time, and when that happens, this doesn't become a valid house. You can't set your spawn as that. So, I mean, some of you guys might just like want to put a door here instead. I don't know. I like switches. This used to all be water. So, essentially what was first was just these two right there. This switch and those walls right there. And I just used it to get rid of most of the water in here by draining it down. As you can see on my map, it goes down pretty deep. All that is what I drained. And then I added some traps like this. This right switch will use this, but this left switch uses all my traps, which those are for the flyers, but that's just on the surface. Let's take a look down here. As you can see, the hollow got down here, so I essentially put a bunch of traps so I wouldn't ever have to really worry about anything coming up from the bottom. Now all these pressure plates are the ones that only get set off by anything whenever someone, I don't want to say this, whenever anything but, now just read it, activates when anything but a player steps on it. I mean, if you want, you can switch out so when anything steps on it, so you can even kill players with it if you're scared of players coming up. But as you see, there's traps all over. And that left switch that I flicked not too long ago that controlled the flames controls all of these too. When you flip it, every single one will go off because it's connected to the green wire. And then for the blue wire though, I have it as different sections of different pressure points. So essentially, if something steps on this pressure plate, the traps down here won't go off. Just the ones right here. So it's like little mini sections, but they all make up a huge main defense with the green wire. Then I had one of my friends join me today who just recently got the game. Oh yeah, this. So this has been on playing server, and the friend who I was just talking about who joined me doesn't have the best internet connection. So essentially what I did here was I placed this so there's a little breathing hole in case he lags out so he won't drown. And also what it does is it slows the flow of water that can come in when you open this gate right there. It will only allow like 2 blocks width to come in here. And that really like cuts down the weight it puts on your survey. And then over here, this was just for entertainment, but like, so let's say you're coming back, it's all like a hero's welcome type of thing, boom. That's also set to a timer right here. But anyways, see it's going off. You can see it up there. It's kind of hard though. Now, as I was saying, I've had my new friend join me, and he didn't, he started a new character because he just now got the game, and he couldn't really use the switches. So what I did was I designed a system that can, again, if you don't do it in the same order, it won't work, right? That's why I'm trying to close these as I go. I designed a system for the switches. Now, this switch controls this one right here. That's all it controls. But it has to be the opposite of this one right here, or else the whole setup won't work. As you'll see, I did green wire to that and blue wire to that, but as you see how it works, as long as this one is opposite, this top one right here is opposite, it'll work. Now what it does is it opens the bottom one and closes the top. And it also works in reverse, so after that all happened, boom. Now, I mean, if you don't want any, the whole reason this switch is here is so no mobs get in here, because I don't know, I just didn't want them to at all. So I close that whenever I leave. But you have to make sure it's open when you use the system. Now down here it's the same system. See? And it's a little bit easier to see exactly how I did it. You use a blue, a switch, and switch. And then 2, 2, and 2. So there's essentially 3 switches and 3 stones that turn. The blue wire goes to the first activator, the second switch, and the first switch. Then the green wire goes from the first switch to the second switch to the second activator down to the third switch, and then blue from the third switch to the last activator stones. And that's so it works. I thought it was a pretty cool system. It's up to you guys though. And over here, it's not quite done, but it's a elevator. And on one of my worlds, I had a problem with things coming out of a elevator, and essentially that's how they kept getting into my house, was through that. So I essentially did the same thing as in the rest of my house with traps like that. You can even leave the door open if you want, and then the spiky balls will fall down the tunnel. And then just that's all the major updates I've did so far. I mean, other than that, I just kind of like made switches to all my lights. I don't know. That was just for entertainment too. And what else? Oh, yeah. The last thing I did was, now it can be really essential if you like making potions and you need them to help out. Oh, that's my little tombstone area. That was just for looks too. But it's a greenhouse. Now, I have every seed I could find: pumpkins, daybloom. I'm not sure. I forgot what these are. Blink roots, morning glow or something like that. The silver throne, deathweed, fire blossom, and then extra pots for anything you want. Now you know this can make you making potions a lot easier, since you don't have to go and hunt all those. You know, they're just right there for you. So, as my house defenses happen, I'll show you how good it is against the solar eclipse, which is the hardest thing I've really had to deal with lately. That actually is worth showing. But I mostly want to get to the other house I have, that underwater one, because that's a little bit better. Like I said, it can get a little bit laggy on servers. Come on. It's like if one person lags out a little bit, it'll break pretty much everyone lags out. I don't know why, but it's how it seems to always work. Essentially, just sitting here now. If I forgot to mention earlier, the lava doesn't work against the waves, so I mean the lava doesn't really do anything. I just haven't got around to see they go right through it. The spike traps and the flames, however, I mean they hurt it. Like whenever they fly through one or whatever, it hurts them. It's like right there. Just for some reason, the lava doesn't. Disco party. Okay, try to speed this up a little bit. I'll show you how it works. So, I always know I've accidentally hooked these flame traps right here up to some pressure plates. So I can tell whenever something hits the first set of pressure plates because these go off. I mean, basically this just goes off, and then you're just down here collecting money. Last time a solar eclipse happened, I collected around 71 gold, and that was just by sitting in that room making sure waves didn't kill me. I just came down here and collected the money. Alright, what we got there? We got 10 gold there. 10 gold. And I mean, all we did was that little bit right there. Then we got over here. And I mean, the solar eclipse is still happening. This is just a little bit. We got 11 gold. Oh, can't go that way. Haven't drained this way yet. Now all these traps work underwater, except for the flame ones. So, I mean, it's pretty safe. Like, you don't have to worry about like draining that often. You just have to drain enough to make sure your house can still get rid of the water if any gets into your house because it's underwater, you know. And these were little breathing holes, but they've provided numerous times as safe little hide holes from the spiky balls. And that's essentially how this will all work. Hope you enjoy this video and had the chance to try some of these out.